The stars were quiet that day. No war, no screams, just silence. Inside the Great Hall of the Galactic Council, leaders from 37 species gathered. Their faces were tense. Their eyes stared at the large screen in the middle of the room. On that screen was a single red word: Earth. Counselor Dravik, a tall insect-like alien, stood first. His voice was shaky. "They're going to invade Earth," he said. "The Varnock Empire is sending warships." The room went silent. Everyone looked at each other, unsure of what to say. "They cannot be serious," said High Speaker Velen of the Draenari. "We warned them. Everyone knows Earth is ... different." "They don't believe it," said Counselor Irin, a lizard-like female from the Kral Dominion. "They think Earth is just another low-tech planet, easy to take, easy to conquer." Slammed a metal hand on the table. "We must stop them. The Varnock are strong, but they do not understand what they're waking up. Earth is not weak. Earth is a graveyard for invaders." The council remembered the stories. Ancient files, old reports, rumors. 1,000 years ago, a small scouting fleet landed on Earth. 5 ships, 2,000 soldiers. None returned. 300 years ago, a slaver race tried to harvest humans. They disappeared in the clouds. 70 years ago, an AI-controlled war fleet scanned Earth from orbit. It shut down in less than a minute. All those stories ended the same way. Silence, but Earth never responded, never sent a ship, never left the planet. It just waited. And that scared the Council more than anything. The Varnock's decision on the other side of the galaxy. The Varnock Empire was already moving. Inside a black command chamber aboard their capital ship, Supreme Lord Varnock stood. With pride, he looked down at a glowing hologram of Earth. "Primitive planet," he said. "Blue oceans, green lands, old cities. No space fleet, no defense satellites. They are nothing." His generals nodded. "Double quotes, we can take it in 2 days," one said. Another added, "They don't even have real space travel." Varnox raised his clawed hand. "Then we begin. Send the invasion fleet. I want Earth under our flag before the next cycle." His eyes glowed red with confidence. He had heard the Council's warning and ignored it. "They are cowards," he said. "Afraid of a planet full of animals and dirt. I see no danger." A signal from Earth back in the Council Hall. Counselor Dravik tried one last thing. He opened a secret channel, a channel to Earth. A blinking blue crystal glowed in his hand. It was old to colder than the Council itself. It had one purpose: to send messages to Earth's hidden defense system. Activated it. A soft hum filled the room. Then silence. Then, suddenly, a voice. Onevoice.com, human. We know just those 2 words. "That's all, Earth," said the crystal. Shut down. The council members sat frozen. Dravik turned to the others. "They know the Varnock are coming. They're not asking for help. They're not sending warnings. They're waiting," said Irin in a whisper. Like always, Velen looked sick. "We have to stop the Varnock if they land, if they step foot on Earth." No one finished that sentence. On Earth, deep underground, beneath a mountain in Alaska, a group of humans sat in a dark room. They were not soldiers, not politicians. They were something else: agents, engineers, warriors, trained for one purpose. The screen in front of them showed the Varnock fleet approaching. A tall man named Elias stood at the center. His eyes were calm, cold. "They're coming," he said, "right on schedule." A woman next to him smiled. "We always knew someone would be stupid enough to try again." Elias nodded. "Activate Project Silence." A soldier pressed a button. From underground bunkers across the planet, ancient systems came to life. Satellites turned, signals burst into space. Codes long hidden in Earth's core unlocked. The world above looked the same, but below, Earth was waking up. In deep space, the Varnock advanced. The Varnock fleet was massive. 100 warships, thousands of drones, millions of soldiers. They approached Earth with no fear. "Targets in sight," said the Varnock captain. "Prepare the landing," said the general. The ships entered orbit, but something was wrong. The stars began to disappear. "What is this?" the captain yelled. "Shadows. Too large to be asteroids. They're moving." Then the screen went black. No warnings. No explosions, just darkness. The command ship tried to reconnect. Then the lights flickered. One by one, the ships went silent. No noise, no messages, just gone. Back at the Council, news reached the Council an hour later. The Varnak invasion fleet had gone dark. All of it, no signals, no survivors, no trace. Counselor Dravik stood up again. "This is your proof," he said. "This is what Earth does." Counselor Valine's voice was shaking. "Do we tell the rest of the galaxy?" "No," said Ern quickly. "If we say Earth did this, others will want to test it. They will send scouts, probes, more blood. Let the story spread in whispers," said Dravik. Like before, a cold silence returned to the chamber. Only one thing was certain. Earth had not fallen, never falls. The Varnak Empire had never lost a war. From the burning sands of Voltara to the icy rings of Kale, they crushed every world they touched. Planets fell, civilizations ended. They were conquerors, unstoppable, proud, and now they came for Earth. Arrival above Earth, black ships appeared like shadows in the sky. Over 100 Varnak warships took position around the planet. Their long claws of steel pointed toward Earth like teeth ready to bite. Inside the lead ship, Dreadfang, Commander Relkar, stared at the blue planet on the screen. "So this is Earth," he said. "Looks peaceful. Looks weak." The second officer, Threx, smirked. "Let them look up and see their end coming." Relkar raised his clawed hand. "Begin atmospheric entry. Drop the first wave." Within minutes, troop carriers launched toward Earth. They carried Varnak warriors 10 feet tall, armored, armed, fearless. No one expected resistance. No one expected what came next. Touchdown, the first wave landed in the ruins of an old city. Overgrown buildings, cracked roads, empty silence. The Varnak stepped out of their ships. No humans in sight. No soldiers, no weapons, only wind and dust. Relkar's voice came over comes, "Secure the zone. Mark landing points for the second wave." The warriors spread out. Then one of them vanished. No scream, no fight, just gone. Then another and another. Panic started to grow. "Commander," one officer called. "We're losing contact with Unit 7. Unit 3 is not responding. Something is wrong down here." Static. One by one, Comes went silent. Relkar's eyes narrowed. Pull them back. No response. His hands tightened into fists. They had lost contact with 500 elite soldiers in under 12 minutes, and still no sign of an enemy. The City of Ghosts, the landing team had no idea they were being watched from rooftops, from tunnels. From the shadows Earths, defenders were everywhere. But they were not an army. They were hunters. They wore black armor. No symbols, no names. Just silence. They moved like ghosts, striking fast and vanishing into smoke. Each Varnak soldier who entered the city met the same fate, not captured, not wounded, erased, as if the planet itself was fighting back in orbit. Varnak, confusion back in orbit, chaos spread through the Varnak fleet. "Still no signal from the first wave," shouted a Comes officer. "Attempting drone recon," said another. They launched observation drones toward the city. The drones flew through the clouds and stopped mid-air. One by one, they froze, then exploded. Relkar's hands trembled. "What is this place?" "We scanned no weapons, no defense systems." "Maybe the humans are using stealth technology," said Threx. "Advanced tech hidden underground," Relkar growled. "Send the second wave. I want Earth taken by nightfall." Second wave. A bigger mistaken, another fleet of landers dropped through the sky. This time, 2,000 troops. They landed outside the city, ready to march inward. But the ground shook. Explosions lit up the sky. The trees moved, and from under the earth. Old human weapons rose. Turrets, drones, laser nets. Things the Varnak had never seen. The humans had prepared long ago, and now Earth was awake. The second wave didn't even reach the city. They were picked off before they saw an enemy face by nightfall. Not one soldier was left. A message from Earth back aboard Dreadfang. Alarms echoed, then the lights went out. Every ship in orbit lost power for 10 full seconds. When the lights came back, something was on their screens. A human face, wearing black. No emotion. He spoke slowly. "You were warned. This is Earth. You have one chance. Leave." The face disappeared. Then the power cut again for 20 more seconds. Varnak engineers scrambled in terror. This shouldn't be possible. hacked us. From the surface, no race can do this. Relkar stared at the dark screen for the first time. Afraid Varnock, High Command denial, and rage far away on the Varnock homeworld, Supreme Lord Varnox listened to the reports. He slammed a fist on the war table. Cowards. This is weakness. Send more ships. One of his advisors spoke carefully. Lord, we have already lost over 2,000 warriors and 15 ships, and we don't even know how. Varnox growled. Then burn the planet. Use the red flames. The red flames were forbidden weapons, used only once in history, but to Varnox, pride was more important than rules. Let Earth be our example, he said. No one resists the Empire. Earth's calm response, but Earth was already preparing in secret command rooms around the planet. Human minds worked like machines. They knew the Varnock would not give up easily. They expected worse. Elias. The human commander watched the orbit map calmly. They're planning something big, he said. They want to wipe us out. His second in command, Maya, nodded. Do we stop them? Elias shook his head. No, we let them try. He turned to a screen showing ancient defense platforms hidden. In Earth's orbit, still dormant. Let them see what extinction feels like. The stars around Earth still looked peaceful, but above the planet, the Varnock warfleet floated in confusion. They had already lost 2 waves of soldiers. Their drones failed. Their ships had been hacked twice, yet their pride was greater than their fear. They did not believe Earth could truly fight them. They were wrong. Silence before the storm on the Varnock flagship Dreadfang. Commander Relkar stood on the bridge. His face was tense. How can a primitive planet do this? He growled. No lasers fired, no fighters. Still, we lose. His second officer Threx answered quietly. The council was right. Relkar turned fast. No, the council is weak. We are warriors. He pointed at the planet below. Prepare orbital strike. No more ground games. We burn them from the sky. All across the Varnock fleet, weapons charged. Red beams lit up. Giant plasma cannons locked on human cities. Watching. And Earth was ready. Earth's first moved far below. In a secret bunker beneath Antarctica, Commander Elias stood in front of a glowing table map. Small red dots showed the Varnock ships above. They've locked targets, Maya said. They're seconds away from firing. Elias nodded once. Then it's time. He pressed a red button, and Earth struck first. The sky turns against them in space, just as the Varnock ships began charging their main cannons. Something hit. Them, not missiles, not lasers, satellites. Thousands of stealth satellites, invisible until now, came alive. They were part of Project Mirrora, Secret Earth. Defense network built in silence. Each satellite carried gravity disruptors and pulse weapons, designed to blind, twist, and destroy systems without leaving a trace. One ship's engines exploded from inside. Another lost all power. A third twisted sideways, as if space itself pulled it apart. The Varnock screamed in shock. This is impossible. No race has this kind of tech. Relkar watched the chaos. His ships were being destroyed, and he hadn't even fired a single shot from the moon. Fire falls, then came the next blow. A base hidden on the far side of the moon activated. It had no name. No one knew it even existed. It opened fire. Giant railguns, powered by ancient Earth tech, launched hypervelocity rods, silent, invisible weapons that moved faster than any shield could stop. They tore through 3 Varnock destroyers. Like paper, the sky was full of debris, fire, screams. Metal. And Earth had not lost even one ship. The hunters in space, but Earth wasn't done from Earth's shadow. Stealth ships launched. Black, quiet, with no signals, designed to be invisible to enemy radar. These were the Black Talons, the elite of the elite. They flew between Varnock ships, cutting deep with silent torpedoes and hacking beams. Varnock cruisers exploded without warning. Inside the ships, systems went dark. Air was sucked out, hull doors locked, screams were silenced by vacuum. The Varnock were no longer in control. Varnock panic inside. Dreadfang Commander Relkar stood frozen. Where are they? Behind us? No, above. They're everywhere. They're not using signals. We can't track them. Relkar slammed his fists. Retreat. pull back now. But it was too late. Earth was already inside their fleet. The battle was not between two armies, it was a hunt, and the Varnock were prey. A final attempt in desperation. The Varnock tried to launch their final weapon. A massive ship at the edge of the fleet powered up. It carried a planet buster bomb, enough to destroy half of Earth. They thought they still had one chance, but Earth had seen it already. Before they could fire, one last black talon ship approached. It didn't attack. It simply broadcast a code. The Varnock ship shut down instantly. Its bomb melted inside, and then the ship exploded. The galaxy watches in the far reaches of space. Hidden Council sensors watched everything. The whole galaxy was watching. What they saw that day shocked even the oldest races. A planet defending itself with impossible weapons. A primitive world controlling space, like gods. An empire falling without even reaching the ground. Messages spread fast. Earth is not weak. Earth was always prepared. Earth struck first, and Earth does not miss. Commander Elias speaks back in the underground bunker. Elias watched the map. The Varnock fleet was broken, scattered, running. Maya turned to him. Should we chase them? Elias shook his head. Not yet. Let them go. Let them tell others. He looked at a screen showing the Council's last message. You were warned, and now they understood. The Varnock Empire was hurt. Their proud fleet had been broken. Their best soldiers were gone. Their weapons failed. But they still believed they could win. They were too proud to accept defeat. So they made a new plan. A bigger, stronger plan. And Earth was ready for it. VARNOK, War Council on a hidden moon near the Varnock homeworld. A new War Council was formed. Supreme Lord Varnox stood before 12 generals. His voice was full of anger. Earth has tricked us, he said. They hide. They strike from the dark. We will not play their game. One general stepped forward. We must take the planet by force. Land heavy units. Bring walkers, tanks, air support. Another added, if they control orbit, we fight. On the ground, Varnox agreed. Fine. We send the Juggernauts 10,000 elite warriors. This time, no mercy. They did not know. Earth was already waiting for them, and Earth wanted them to come down. The landing begins. 10 giant troop carriers entered Earth's atmosphere. They were like floating mountains covered in armor, filled with death. They landed across 4 continents: America, Asia, Africa, South America. Each site had only one goal: establish a base. This time, the Varnock came with everything: mobile fortresses, sky drones, tunneling machines, shield walls. The Varnock generals smiled. Let's see the humans fight us now. But what they didn't know, the humans had already planned this exact move. Earth's bait months ago. Earth's deep intelligence predicted this invasion style. They left 4 locations undefended. Old cities, ruined highways, empty buildings, open plains, but under the ground. Traps were ready. Mines, sonic bombs, signal jammers, nanite clouds, hidden strike teams. And now, the trap would close. TOHT-1. The Ghost City, North America. The Varnock set up base inside an old abandoned city. Skyscrapers stood tall but empty. They thought it was safe, until the buildings moved. The walls opened, human. Drones flew out silent, fast, deadly. They didn't shoot bullets, they spread gas. A nerve missed. The Varnock tried to breathe. They fell, choking, screaming. Those who ran found their feet stuck in strange liquid nanite glue. Within 8 minutes, the entire base was silent. Human message played on a loop. You walked into this. We did not need to chase you. Trapped to the cracked desert Africa here, the Varnock set up an energy tower. Shield generators powered up. Then, the ground exploded from underground tunnels. Dozens of Earthborn tanks rose. But these weren't normal tanks. They moved without sound. They used magnetic fields to float, and they didn't fire shells. They launched EMP pulses. The Varnock mechs froze. Turrets spun USELESSLY, and then Earth's soldiers came. Not many, just 30, but they moved. Like shadows, and carried weapons designed only for one purpose: kill VARNOK. In 12 minutes, the entire unit was gone. Trap 3, the Mountain Path, Asia. The Varnock built a command center near a high mountain pass. They scanned the area, nothing. Then, came the noise. It started small, then louder, then a roar, an avalanche. But this was not snow or rocks. It was metal. Old satellites, ship parts, scrapped drones, all dropped from high orbit by Earth's moon cannons. A metal rainstorm. The Varnock tried to flee. The skies closed. When it was over, the entire area was buried under 500 feet of junk metal. Not one Varnock survived. Trap for the swamp. Based South America, this was the only trap that didn't use machines. It used humans, the Earthborn. Ground fighters trained from birth waited in the trees. They let the Varnock build, watched learned patterns, and then, at night, they struck. Knives, arrows, smoke, fear. The jungle lit up with fire. The Varnock never saw their attackers. Only shadows. Only death. One Varnock soldier, before dying, whispered into his cum. They are not animals, they are demons. In orbit, Varnock confusion grows high above. Varnock command ships watched in horror. Each base gone. Every landing. Destroyed, no clear enemy. No full battle, just traps, just death. They knew we were coming, whispered one Varnock officer. They wanted us to come, said another. Commander. Relkar watched the feeds. His eyes were wide, his hands shook. They are not defending their planet, he whispered. They are hunting us. The Council watches in silence from a distant observatory. The Galactic Council watched the same scenes. No one spoke. Counselor Dravik broke the silence. We tried to warn them. Counselor Irin lowered her head. Earth does not fight wars. Earth ends them. A new member asked. Should we intervene? No, Dravik said. No one stops Earth once it begins. Not even us. Earth's final message of the day. After all 4 traps had been triggered, Earth sent a message. Not to the Varnok. To everyone. It appeared on every neutral channel, in every language. We are still here. We are still standing. And we are just getting. It started. The war was not going how the Varnock expected. They had come with power, pride, and fire. Now they had only fear. After the traps, all 4 Varnock landing sites were destroyed. 10,000 elite warriors gone. Their war machines silent, and Earth had barely moved. No full armies. No great battles, only silence. And traps, Supreme Lord Varnox, watched the reports with shaking hands. He had never seen anything like this. The Varnock were used to fighting armies, but Earth fought like a mind, like a machine, one that knew them before they arrived. And now, Earth was ready to speak. A signal appears on the edge of the Varnock homeworld. A strange signal appeared. It didn't come through military channels. It came through everything: news networks, open systems, civilian screens, a plain white light, a soft hum, and then a message. A human stood in front of a dark background. No name, no rank, no symbol. His face was calm, his voice steady. He spoke only once. We gave you a warning. You didn't listen. You lost thousands. That was your mistake. He leaned forward. Do not send more. Do not test us again. Next time, we won't just defend, we will erase. The screen went black. VARN. OK reaction inside the war hall. The message replayed again and again. No threats. No shouting. No weapons. Just a promise. A quiet, terrifying promise. One Varnock general said, What does that mean? Another answered, They won't stop next time. They'll come for us. They're bluffing, Varnox growled, but even he didn't believe it. Across the galaxy, fear spreads. Other empires saw the message too. The Kral Dominion, the Xanthari swarm, the Draenari high minds. Everyone watched in silence, and they remembered the story's old legends. Vanished fleets, lost scouts, all connected to one small planet, Earth. Now, the galaxy saw the truth. Earth was not sleeping. Earth was waiting, and Earth was angry. On Earth, calm before the next move-in, a secret chamber deep below the Himalayas. Commander Elias sat with other human leaders. They had sent the message, now they waited. Maya, his second in command, looked up from her tablet. Varnock fleet has stopped moving, she said. No new attacks, no launches. Total silence. Elias nodded. They're thinking, should we strike now? She asked. No, Elias said. Let them sit with fear. Let them feel what we felt. When others came for us long ago, he looked at the stars on the screen. They must understand we don't forgive. The Council's private meeting far from all eyes. The Galactic Council gathered in private. No records, no messages, only voices behind closed doors. Counselor Dravik spoke first. You all saw the message. Irin nodded. They are not warning anymore. That was a final chance. Velen looked around. What if the Varnock don't listen? What if they attack again? Dravik's voice was low. Then the Varnock will end, not defeated, erased. And if Earth decides others are a threat to someone asked, no one answered. The room was full of fear, but for themselves, Varnock tries to respond at last. Supreme Lord Varnox sent a message back to Earth. It was full of anger, pride, and warnings. He shouted, he threatened, he claimed Earth would pay, but Earth didn't answer no. Reply came, only silence. The same silence that came before the traps, before the strikes, before the fall. Varnox crushed his screen in rage, but deep inside, he knew. The silence was louder than any reply, a human child's questioning a quiet village somewhere in New Zealand. A child looked up at the stars. Mom, she asked, are the aliens gone now? Her mother smiled and nodded. Double quotes, yes, they won't. Come again. The child thought for a moment. Why not? The mother's voice was soft, because they finally understood something. What's that? She looked at the sky. Earth is not afraid. For the first time in history, Earth was not just defending, it was moving. No more waiting for weeks. Another strike, but nothing came. And that was the worst part. The waiting then, on the 10th day after the last attack, a Varnock listening station near the edge of their border detected movement, unknown ships, black, silent, fast. They didn't broadcast warnings. They didn't ask for peace. They simply passed by. Heading into Varnock territory, Earth had made its decision. The Black Talons strike inside deep space. 6 Black Talon ships moved through asteroid fields near the Varnock mining colonies. These were not warships. They were surgical weapons. No sound, no light, only shadows. Each one carried advanced hacking systems, electromagnetic pulse cannons, and zero-gravity soldiers. They were not here to fight armies. They were here to destroy the roots of the Varnock Empire. The first colony was dark within seconds. No alarms, no weapons fired. The power grid collapsed. Ships inside the hangars exploded one by one before anyone even knew the attack began. It was over Varnox. Broken lines as the Talons kept striking. The Varnock Empire began to break. One by one, their fuel depots, communication relays, drone factories, sensor stations were shut down or destroyed. Their empire wasn't just being attacked, it was being unplugged. General Torak of the Varnock Defense Fleet stared at his display screen. No contact with Outer Base 77. Fuel Station Videlta is gone. We lost 3 scout fleets in Sector C. He turned to the war room in panic. It's not a war anymore. It's a collapse. Inside Earth's command room underground, Commander Elias stood in front of a glowing star map. Red Varnock sectors blinked, turning gray one by one. Maya walked in. We've disabled 42 Varnock systems in 6 sectors. Elias stayed quiet. We didn't fire a single missile, she added. Still, Elias did not smile. We don't fight for pride, he said. We fight to send a message. He pointed at the central Varnock world, and the message is, you are no longer safe. A Varnock general defects back on the Varnock border. Something unexpected happened. A Varnock general, Sarn Vok, sent a message to Earth. He had seen enough. His message was short. I do not serve fools. I wish to survive. I offer information. Earth responded with one word. Send. Shocked even Earth's leaders. Blueprints of Varnock command centers. Locations of fleet reserves. Details of their internal power struggle. Elias stared at the data. They're falling apart from inside, Maya said. Elias nodded. Let's help them break faster. The galaxy watches again. Other empires watched from a distance. Earth, once quiet and forgotten, was now moving through space like fire. But it wasn't conquering. It wasn't claiming territory. It was simply removing enemies. Quickly, silently, completely from many species. We respect your strength. We seek peace. Earth replied with only 2 words. Stay away. Should we help? Them. Counselor Irin shook her head. We warned them, Drabik added. Earth is doing what no one ever dared. They're proving a truth. Defense can become domination. Valane's voice was quiet, and they're doing it without armies. Iran looked at the star chart. They're showing the galaxy. They don't need numbers, they only need purpose. Inside the Varnock Capital Inn, the Varnock capital city, Supreme Lord Varnox stood in front of a room of frightened generals. Systems were falling. Fear was rising, and Earth had not even sent a full fleet. This is not war, Varnock shouted. This is trickery, sabotage. Varnock slammed his fist. We still have our core fleets. We still have power, but no one believed him anymore. Some generals began leaving. The Empire was dying not from invasion, but from fear. Earth's broadcast to all then, the same as before. You have now seen what Earth can do. We do not seek war. But if you bring war to us, you will not survive. This is not a warning. This is a fact. No one replied. No one dared. The children of war, they were not ordinary soldiers. They were born during fire. During Earth's darkest time, when the first invasion struck out, their homes were destroyed. Their families were killed. They did not cry. They learned, they trained, they grew up with one mission in their hearts: never let this happen again. The world called them the Earthborn. Aliens called them something else: the Deathwalkers. Teachers were survivors of the First War. They were taught how to think like hunters, how to survive with no food, no light, no hope, how to fight without fear, how to kill without sound. They were not told to follow. They were taught to adapt, lead, and win. The Varnock whisper. By now, across the Varnock Empire, stories began to spread of humans who moved like shadows, who could breathe in space for minutes, who disabled entire ships from inside. One Varnock captain survived a raid and whispered to his commander. They walked through fire. They smiled while killing. His voice trembled. They are not like the rest. They are something else. Labs, with its crew unconscious, untouched, but terrified. No signs of attack. Only one word scratched into the wall. We see you, Earthborn. Unit X9, the most feared team, was Unit X-9, led by Cyril, the silent warrior with eyes like frost. Each member had survived things no normal person could. One had been trapped under rubble for 13 days. Another had fought alone against 9 drone soldiers. They were loose in Varnock space. The Council watches closely. The Galactic Council reviewed silent drone footage of Varnock. Breaking sound, they're here to end it. The message left behind at one captured Varnock Fortress, Unit X9, left a message for all to see. It was carved into metal, written in Varnock language. It said, "We warned you. You came anyway. Now we come for you." No name, no flag. Supreme Lord Varnox was furious. Our bases are falling to small teams, not fleets. General Aura spoke quietly. Not just humans anymore, it's Earthborn. Varnock slammed the table. Then we destroy Earth. But someone in the shadows spoke up. Can you even find Earth's real command anymore? Silence followed. They couldn't. Earth had vanished into space now, fighting in their shadows. Other civilizations, choose sides, some alien species, saw what Earthborn could do. They began sending private messages. We will not attack Earth. We are ready to sign peace. Commander Elias only sent one reply to all: stay neutral, stand aside, or fall with them. What Earth hid from the stars for years, Earth kept many things hidden. The Council thought it was weakness, the Varnock thought it was fear. But the truth, Earth was hiding something for the galaxy's safety. Long ago, during Earth's early wars, a secret project began. Hidden deep underground, buried under ice, desert, oceans, and mountains. No one outside Earth knew about it. Even most humans didn't know. Project Hollow Sun, the prison planet theory there, had always been a rumor inside the Galactic Council that Earth was once a prison planet used by ancient alien races, a place where they left dangerous species, failed experiments, rogue minds. But no proof ever came. Until now, recovered Varnock drone footage, one Varnock recon ship, while escaping Earth's orbit, flew near Antarctica. It picked up strange heat signals under the ice. Curious, it zoomed in. Then, the drone feed went dark. But before it cut off, a few seconds of footage got out. It showed something massive, moving under the ice. Not metal, not alive. Something. Something watching. The awakening commander Elias stood in a cold chamber. Deep under Earth's surface, a glowing sphere hovered in front of him, covered in runes, pulsing with soft light. A voice from behind spoke. "Are you sure it's time, Elias?" Nodded. The Varnock woke it. Now it's listening. He pressed his palm against the sphere. The room shook. Elsewhere on Earth, other chambers activated. Signals spread into space. The ancient systems of Project Hollow Sun came online. Project Hollow Sun. What was it? It was not a weapon. It was not a ship. It was not a person. It was a being, a force left on Earth by someone older than the Council itself, an intelligence that once slept for 1,000,000 years until it felt war again. The humans did not create it, but they made a deal with it. "We will protect you," they said, "but if war returns to Earth, you will protect us too." It remembered, and now it was awake. Varnock. Fleet encounters, something unseen Varnock, destroyer patrolling near Mars, began to receive strange echoes, invisible objects. Following them, no ships, no missiles, but energy spikes matching nothing. In any database then, the lights dimmed. One by one, the crew lost control of their minds. They screamed of voices whispering in ancient tongues. One wrote on the wall with his blood. "The sun burns from within." The ship was found weeks later, floating, empty, no life, no damage, just silence. Just silence. Council demands an answer. The Galactic Council called Earth for a direct meeting. They demanded to know what was happening. Commander Elias simply smiled. "You said we were weak. You ignored the warnings. But Earth was never alone." Counselor Vera looked shaken. "Is it a weapon?" Elias answered. "It's not a weapon. It's home. And it defends itself. The truth spreads across the stars, across the galaxy." Smaller civilizations began to realize the truth. Earth was not a small blue world. It was a graveyard of forgotten powers, and one of those powers had just opened its eyes. One alien scholar wrote, "We studied Earth's history, but we forgot to study its bones. Now its bones rise." The Varnock panic inside, the Varnock High Command. Panic turned into chaos. Ships refused to launch. Officers deserted. Civilians began to flee their worlds. One desperate admiral shouted, "We cannot fight Earth anymore. We are not at war with a planet. We are at war with something else." Message from Hollow Sun Earth's deep signal, repeated again and again in space. The same message translated into every known language. "You were warned. You came anyway. Now, return to your world, or be buried in ours." The galaxy listened. And this time, no one laughed. The collapse begins. The Varnock had once ruled 40 star systems. They had power, they had numbers, but now they had fear. Ever since Earth awakened Project Hollow Sun, nothing was the same. Ships vanished. Troops refused to fight. Entire planets stopped answering calls, and Earth kept moving forward. The fall of Varnock Prime was the heart of the Empire, a shining capital, strongest shields, fastest defense fleet. But when the Earthborn arrived, none of that mattered. They came in silence, no huge army, just a few human ships. Equipped with Black Ops tech, cloaked deadly, they hacked the skies, turned Varnock Prime's own satellites into weapons. They blinded the capital. Then they dropped the message, "We warned you, now you learn." Inside the chaos, Governor Olzar, leader of Varnock Prime, locked himself in his bunker. He screamed at his officers, "Where are the Earth forces? Show them on screen." But the screens were black. Only one line appeared. "We see you, you don't see us." Double quotes, then ... The power died. 10 minutes later, the planet's orbit went dark. Every military station offline. Every weapon. Useless Varnock Prime had fallen, not by bombs, not by war, by fear and control. Council's Final Plate Galactic Council held an emergency meeting. The Varnock ambassador was gone. Earth's ambassador arrived late. His name, Agent Cade.HeWoreBlack.com/Sirius. Counselor Vera begged him, "Stop this. The Varnock are beaten." Cade smiled. "This isn't revenge. It's defense." Another counselor whispered, "But it feels like extinction." Cade looked straight ahead. "Now you understand. Allies, or enemies many smaller alien, Races now came forward. They sent messages to Earth. We will help you. We wish to learn. Don't come for us. Earth responded kindly but with power. Respect us. We will protect you. Attack us, and you will vanish. The Varnock tried to run. One last fleet escaped from the Varnock border, led by General Corchet. He ordered his ships into deep space, away from Earth, away from war, but the humans were already there. Waiting in silence, Earth's stealth fleet surrounded them. Korsh sent a message. We surrender. Let us go. He got only one reply. Surrender was an option. Then the black wave came. Not missiles, not lasers, just a dark sphere of graviton. Energy, it folded space. The fleet was a race, no explosion, no light, just gone. Voices in the dark now. Even the strongest races felt something. Earth wasn't just fighting, it was becoming something greater. Faster tech, smarter AI, weapons. No one could understand. Ships with no heat signature, some whispered. Earth made a deal with something old. Earth isn't just defending, it's evolving, and still. Humanity said nothing more, just silence. And silence was terrifying. Whispers of extinction only. 5 Varnock colonies remained. Each one begged the Council for help, but no one moved. No one wanted to anger Earth. One young alien reporter wrote, "The war is over, but something worse is coming. Earth is rising and it does not forget." The final message from deep inside Earth, Project Hollow Sun, sent one last warning into space. This is not conquest. This is balance. Break it, and we return. A broken empire's last hope. Only one Varnock fleet remained. 30 warships, 2 dreadnoughts, all their best commanders. They called it the Last Flame. The mission, fly straight to Earth, destroy their main command base, end the war in one final strike. They had nothing to lose. They had everything to fear. The Council watches. The Galactic Council gathered again. Everyone watched the Varnock fleet's live feed. Thousands of ships across the galaxy tuned in. Many hoped the Varnock would win. Even more prayed they wouldn't make it. The Council chief said, "If Earth wins this, we will no longer be the rulers of the stars." Silence in space. The Varnock fleet moved fast. They reached Earth's orbit, but the planet looked quiet. No ships in sight, no movement, no defense grid, only silence. General Yorn of the Varnock growled, "They are hiding. We strike now." The sky changes. Then it happened. The stars disappeared. The sky around the fleet turned black, like a blanket had been thrown over space. Their radar stopped working. Lights on the ships blinked red. They were inside something massive. Project Eclipse from Earth. One signal was sent. You have entered the test zone of Project Eclipse. No further warnings will be given. The Varnock fleet opened fire. Laser blasts, plasma torpedoes, EMPs. Nothing hit anything. The space around them bent the shots. Then one ship vanished. No explosion, no noise. It was just gone. Then another, then 5 more. Panic spread fast. A weapon that eats reality. Project Eclipse was not a bomb, not a missile. It was a gravitational construct, built from folded space. It created a zone where nothing could exist, except Earth's design. It crushed metal. It swallowed time signals. Even light couldn't escape. Inside Eclipse, there were no survivors. No black boxes, no escape pods, just silence. The final transmission. General Yorn screamed into the comms, "Stop! We surrender. We beg you, please." But the reply was, "This was never about victory. This was about memory. You will become a story, a warning." The last Varnock ship blinked out. Then the stars returned. The sky was normal again, but the galaxy had changed forever. The galaxy reacts. Billions watched the transmission dot, and billions stayed quiet. For the first time in history, Earth had used a weapon that erased a fleet without touching it. Some leaders cried, others ordered their ships to pull back from Earth. Space, even pirates avoided Earth lanes. No one wanted to see Eclipse again. Division in the Council. The Galactic Council fell into chaos. Some said, "We must ally with Earth. They are the future." Others whispered, "They are a threat, a shadow. We must find a way to stop them." But no one dared speak against Earth openly. They remembered what happened to the VARNOK. Earth remained silent. Earth did not celebrate. No messages, no speeches, just silence. Their fleets stayed in orbit. Their people returned to building, watching, preparing. A famous alien historian said, "This is how true power looks. Not loud, not proud, just patient and always ready." Whispers across the stars. Some believed Earth had found ancient tech. Others said Earth had awakened, something not human deep underground. A few feared that Earth was no longer just one planet. That Earth had other hidden colonies now, places with more dangerous secrets. The truth, no one knew. And that was the scariest part. The silence after Eclipse the Galaxy was still. After Project Eclipse destroyed the Varnak's final fleet, no one dared speak. The news spread fast. People whispered in quiet corners. Fleet commanders shut down war exercises. Alien children were told stories, not of Earth's kindness, but of what happened to those who ignored its warnings. And Earth stayed silent. No victory speech, no demands, no celebration, just silence. And that silence was terrifying. The Council calls a secret meeting inside a hidden chamber deep in the heart of Council space. 17 leaders gathered. Species that once ruled stars now sat in fear. The chief of the Council looked around and said, "The Varnak are gone. We all watched it happen. Earth did not fight. Earth erased. Now we must ask, do we face them? ... or kneel?" No one answered not right away, because they all knew facing Earth was no longer a real option. Desperate. Messages begin one by one. Alien empires sent messages to Earth. "We seek peace. We recognize your power. Please accept an alliance. We never supported the Varnak." But Earth did not respond, not to a single one. Fear becomes panic in Council space. Fear turned to panic. One planet closed all borders. Another started building underground bunkers. A third moved its people to moons, hoping Earth would forget about them. The idea that Earth might one day decide to act again haunted every ruler. A small empire even sent their entire fleet to Earth orbit as an offering. Earth destroyed it without a word, no warning, no reason. They had sent weapons, not peace. Earth saw it as a test, and Earth never liked tests. A single response then. One day, Earth finally sent a message. Only 5 words broadcast to all corners of space. We remember who stayed silent. No names, no threats. But every empire knew what it meant. When the Varnak attacked, many said nothing. Many watched. Some cheered. Some hoped Earth would fall. Now Earth remembered them all, and Earth never forgets. The great begging begins from hundreds of planets. Ambassadors traveled to Earth. They came with gifts, technology, rare materials. They bowed, they begged, they offered treaties, but Earth didn't allow them to land. Its orbital defenses simply sent one message: "We choose who speaks, you do not." Only 3 small empires were invited in. The rest waited and watched and worried. The chosen allies, the 3 chosen by Earth, were a peaceful race that warned the Council long ago. A science species that helped Earth in secret during the Varnak War. A tiny planet that had openly protested the invasion of Earth. Earth had kept records. They had names, they had memories, and now they had allies. Inside Earth's new council, in a secret meeting held on the dark side of the moon, Earth formed a new group. The Earth Accord. It had only 4 members. Earth, the Watcher's allies who warned the Council. The Technari science species, the serene, peaceful protesters together. They would shape a new future. One where Earth's voice was final, and one where enemies had no second chance. Alien rebellions begin while Earth ignored many empires. Things began to break down. Some Council worlds fell into rebellion. Others overthrew their own leaders, afraid they had angered Earth. Smugglers, pirates, and warlords vanished, taken by Earth drones without trial. No one knew how Earth found them. They just disappeared. Earth never explained. And that made it worse. The message from Earth's lead. Earth sent a second message, this time from the Earth Accords. Speaker, a woman named Commander Selen Ward. Her face was calm, her voice cold. "We did not ask for war. We did not seek power, but we were attacked. We warned you. You watched. Now we choose peace or extinction." You will not choose for us." She smiled once, then the message ended. The Council falls in a last, desperate meeting. What was left of the Galactic Council tried to act strong, but their voices were weak. Their words meant nothing now. The Council Hall, once the center of power in the galaxy, was half empty. Some seats were abandoned, others burned in revolts. The banners of old empires were torn down. A final vote was cast. The council was dissolved. No cheers, no sadness, just silence. The old order was dead. Earth's new signals the galaxy watched. Earth sent a message this time. It was not a warning, it was an invitation. A glowing signal in every language blinked across space. We do not rule. We guide, we remember who helped, and we do not forget who harmed. It was signed by the Earth Accord. Rise of the Earth Accord now. The Earth Accord was the new power, not an empire, not a dictatorship, but something different. A silent authority that moved without armies, without shouting. They didn't need force anymore because the galaxy had seen what happened to those who challenged Earth, and no one wanted to be next. A new peace begins. Strange things happened after the war. Old enemies made peace. Pirate fleets vanished. Slave markets shut down. Weapons factories closed, all without Earth firing a shot, because now everyone watched Earth. Every species remembered. Earth doesn't speak twice. Earth's gift hand its warning months later. Earth released something unexpected, a massive databank. Inside were technologies far beyond current science: clean power, advanced medicine, planet repair systems, food generators, new AI models. But at the top of the databank, in bold red letters, was one line: "Use these to build, not to conquer, or we will return." No one doubted what that meant. The next generation across the stars. Young alien children learned Earth history in schools, not just the war, but what came before. Earth's struggle for peace, its many ignored warnings, how it stood alone, how it fought back harder than any species ever had. They didn't fear Earth, they respected it. Some even dreamed of visiting it, but only a few ever would. Earth allowed only select visitors, leaders, scientists, peace workers, tourists. Not yet. It wasn't time. Humanity's legacy begins back on Earth. People returned to calm life. Cities were rebuilt. Forests healed. Oceans were clean again. Earth was not trying to lead the galaxy. It just made sure no one would ever try to break it again, and from this calm, Earth sent out a new message. To all who seek peace, we welcome you. To all who seek war, turn back. This galaxy has changed. Earth is watching. The final transmission, one last signal, was sent into deep space. It was short, just 3 lines. We were once the hunted. Now we are the watchers. Let this galaxy never forget. That message is still playing. Endless. On repeat. Carried by thousands of satellites across every system. Every moon, every ship. A reminder. Earth's place in the stars. It wasn't Earth's weapons that ruled the galaxy. It was Earth's memory. The memory of betrayal. The memory of silence, and the promise that it would never happen again.